Apyayantu mamangani pak prana shakshu shrotramato balamindriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahmopanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam mama brahma nirakarut anirakaranamastu anirakaranam me astu tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu brahmaste mai santu te mai santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May quietness descend upon my limbs, my speech, my breath, my eyes, my ears. May all my senses wax clear and strong. May Brahman show himself unto me. May I never deny Brahman, nor Brahman me. I with him and he with me. May we abide always together. May there be revealed to me who am devoted to Brahman, the holy truth of the Upanishads. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all. This morning our subject is Teach Us the Upanishads, Part 7. We are going to start the Kena Upanishad. The word Upanishad is very dignified word. When we hear the word, our heads bend down with love and respect to our ancient rishis who discovered the truth. These sages are not the writer or creator or inventor of these mantras. They are the discoverer. Truth can be discovered. So these sages of the different Upanishads viewed, experienced, realized the same truth from different angles. It is amazing that all Upanishads, if you read, the subject matter is only one, Brahman. Brahman is the subject matter of all Upanishads. Shastra Yonitvat, Tattva Samanayat. We shall talk about it. These sages practice severe austerities in the caves of the Himalayas, on the banks of the holy rivers, in the forests, in the holy places, renouncing worldly enjoyments, friends and family. Thus they solve the vital problems of human life. The non-dual experience. This non-dual experience can solve only all human problems, which teaches I and you are one. Swami Vivekananda mentioned about these Upanishads, how these Upanishads are very important in our life. The infinite oneness of the soul is the eternal sanction of all morality, that you and I, not only brothers, every literature voicing man's struggle towards freedom has preached that for you, but that you and I are really one. This is the dictate of Indian philosophy. This oneness is the rationale of all ethics and spirituality. It is important for us to learn these Upanishads. Teach yourself, Swamiji said. Teach everyone his real nature. Call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, and everything that is excellent will come when the sleeping soul is roused to self-conscious activity. This self-knowledge is extremely important, vital in human life. But we do not make any effort. Swamiji further said, what we need is a strength. Who will give us a strength? And the Upanishads are the great mine of strength. Therein lies a strength enough to invigorate the whole world. The whole world can be vivified, made strong, energized through them. They will call with trumpet voice upon the weak, the miserable, and the downtrodden of all races, all creeds, and all sects to stand on their feet and be free. Freedom, physical freedom, mental freedom, and the spiritual freedom are the watchwords of the Upanishads. Swami Vivekananda said it. This message of Upanishads and Vedanta roused whole India when Swamiji returned in 1897. If you read his lectures from Colombo to Almora, you will find how Swamiji talked about these Upanishads. Human beings are afraid, fearful, weak. Upanishads helps us to get rid of this weakness and fear. Upanishad. Human beings are born with innumerable questions. Children, when they are born ignorant, when they learn to speak, they bombard questions to their parents. Who, why, when, where, what, why? These are the questions. They want to know. If they do not get rational, good answer, they are unhappy. This desire to know is inherent in human being. They want a clear, rational answer. But the tragedy is, the more we grow up, the desire to know diminishes. Old people, they do not want to learn anything new. But those who persist, those who continue to learn, they become the scientists, philosophers. I still remember Mr. Haynes, the Vice President of Disneyland. At the age of 95, he is learning the computer, the Apple's, some computer he was saying, you will be able to learn? Of course, Swami, I can learn. That is something interesting. Most old people, I have nothing to learn. Swamiji says, the person who says, I have nothing to learn, is dead. This curiosity is very, very important in human life. Einstein said in his Ideas and Opinion, there exists a passion for comprehension, just as there exists a passion for music. That passion is rather common in children, but gets lost in most people later on. Without this passion, there would be neither mathematics nor science. This passion to know is extremely important in spiritual life, in every aspect of human life. Why can't we know this whole mystery of human life? Rig Veda says, Niharena Prabrita Jalpya. Rig Veda gave 3 reasons that human beings do not know the mystery of his own life. First, they speak in vain. They speak all worldly things. They do not inquire about the reality, the main vital aspect of human life. Second, human beings are satisfied with the sense objects. This satisfaction of sensual things. Third, they are continuously running after various objects in this world, desires. They have so many desires that make their mind scattered all over directions. That is the reason they created a mist, fog, so they cannot see. Mist. Nihar. Nihar means mist. Fog. Once I experienced this fog, I went to give a lecture in Fresno. I think it was in 1990s. I was coming from Sacramento. I have never seen such fog in my life. Zero visibility. I could not see anything. The man was driving me. There is no demarcation. It is a one road, side by side. I thought there may be head-on collision. When a car opposite direction comes, I want to see the light, no road. Zero. That creates. But is fog real? No. When the wind blows, the sun shines, fog disappears. But the fog has a capacity to create a disaster, accident. So this mist is not a permanent thing. That is ignorance, ajnana. Mystery. Lincoln Barnett wrote The Universe and Einstein. There is no mystery of the physical world because we know, we perceive this world through the senses. We can explain. Man is his own greatest mystery. He does not understand the vast veiled universe into which he has been cast for the reason that he does not understand himself. It is true. We know many things, but we do not know ourselves. That is the reason Upanishad tells us, Atmanam Viddhi, know thyself. Very few people are interested to know the Upanishads, which is our true nature, the goal of human life. It reminds me a story of a Greek philosopher. He came to give a lecture on human life, the philosophy of life. The audience shouted. We do not like to hear all this nonsense. They are shouting. Then the philosopher said, give me 2 minutes time. I shall tell a short story and I shall leave. So he started to tell the story. Once a man hired a donkey to cross a desert. he sat on the donkey, and the owner of the donkey was walking. At noon, the traveler wants to get down from the donkey and wants to have his lunch. So he sat on the shadow of the donkey to eat his lunch. The owner of the donkey said, I rented the donkey to you, not the shadow. That shadow belongs to me, I shall sit there. The traveler said, no. When I rented the donkey, the shadow also I rented. Saying so, the philosopher left the stage, podium. Then the audience began to shout, who got the shadow? Then the philosopher came back and said, you people are only interested to know the shadow of a donkey. You do not care to know about life. Shame on you. So the audience kept quiet and he gave his lecture. Very funny story. We find some Upanishads started with a question. Question. The student must ask questions to the Guru, the teacher, and the Guru answers. In the Munjaka Upanishad we find Kasminno Bhagavo Vigate Sarvamidam Vigatam Bhavati. Plain question. The student comes and straight asks, Sir, do you know any such thing knowing which everything will be known? Everything could be known. Is there anything you know? Then Upanishad starts. Very interesting that how this Upanishad starts. In the Prana Upanishad we find 6 students came to their teacher, Pippala, and asked questions about this Brahman. The teacher looked at them and said, oh, you really want to know? Are you sincere? Are you really serious? You want to know about the Brahman? Yes. Stay in my house for 1 year. Tapasa, Shraddha, Brahmacharjena. Tapasa, practice austerity, discipline. Shraddha, have faith. Brahmacharya, have celibacy. After 1 year, I shall tell you if I know. He showed his humility. He was an knower of Brahman. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, we find Odihi Bhagavo Brahmeti. Oh, sir, please teach me about Brahman. The teacher replied, Tapasa Brahma Vijiggansasva. First practice austerity. Discipline yourself. Clean your mind. Then come and I shall teach you. Very interesting, you know how the questions. I shall read very interesting passage of Saint Augustine, who wrote in his famous book Confessions. You know, the mystics all over the world speak in different languages, but they speak the same thing. Look, he was inquiring about this God. Where is God? I asked the earth, and it answered me, I am not he. I asked the sea, and the deeps, and the living, creeping things, and they answered, we are not thy God, seek above us. I asked the moving air, and the whole air with its inhabitants answered, Anaximander was deceived, I am not God. I asked the heavens, sun, moon, stars, nor say they, are we the God whom thou seekest? Anjali replied, unto all the things which encompasses the door of my flesh, the senses. Ye have told me of my God, that ye are not he. Tell me something of him. And they cried out with a loud voice, He made us. For truth saith unto me, neither heaven, nor earth, nor any other body is thy God. Now to thee I speak, O my soul, thou art my better part, for thou quickenest the mass of my body, giving it life, which nobody can give to a body, but thy God is even unto thee the life of the life. That is a beautiful, beautiful search for God. At last, finally, he explored the whole external world, finally came within the soul. Christ said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. All Upanishads reminds us again and again, it is within, which is within. How to go within? God created our senses with outgoing tendencies, so they are going always out. That our Katha Upanishad says, Kosya dhira pratyagatmanam ekshat avrita chakshu amritatam ichan. But there are some wonderful, stagey, disciplined souls, they shut, they close the senses with a view to see the soul, Brahman, Atman within. Now we shall start our Upanishad, Kena Upanishad. It is a small Upanishad, 35 verses. Which is under the Samaveda. My teacher who taught me 2 years in our training center, Brahmachari Medhata Vichana. Now he is a disciple of Swami Vijnananda. He wrote this book. He wrote a commentary of the Kena Upanishad that I shall talk to you. How he explained this Kena Upanishad. In the Samaveda there are 1,000 branches. Yajurveda, 100 branches. Rig Veda, 21 branches. Atharva Veda, 9 branches. All these branches of the Upanishads, of the Vedas, most of them are lost. We have only few. This Upanishad belongs to Tolopkar branch. First 1 to 8 chapters of this branch of the Upanishad are Karma Ganja. Vedic rituals, sacrifice, prayer, work and prayer, karma and upasana. First 8 chapters. Next 4 chapters are the Upanishad that we are going to study. Karma. Before you go to study in the university, first you will have to go to kindergarten school, then junior school, middle school, high school, then university. That is the way we move forward. So karma and the upasana are not contradictory to jnana, path of knowledge, the Upanishads. It is a stage. That Swamiji, when he was asked in Madras, the dualism, non-dualism and qualified non-dualism, they are not contradictory, they are complementary. Somebody says, nobody said these things before. Swamiji replied, because this was waiting for me. They are the different stages of experience. We know we need to learn, we must have the knowledge of the alphabet before we go to the master's degree or university. So karma kanja, they are adi kanja. These things are necessary. We cannot avoid it. So upasana. So then comes in this section also they have a upasana of the prana. Prana is a vital energy, life force. This prana without prana we cannot function. But prana is not Atman. There is a beautiful story in the Upanishad. There is a fight between the sense organs that who is the best in the human system. So the eye says, we are the best. But no, all right, we shall take 1 year vacation. So eyes left the body. And when they came back after 1 year, how are you doing? The body says, we are doing fine. Just we lived here like a blind person. Then the speech took 1 hour, 1 year vacation and came back. Oh, we stayed in this body just like a dumb. Hearing also, ear also left for 1 year, came back. Oh, we are fine. And we lived in this body like a deaf. But when the main prana wanted to depart from the body, all sense organs collapsed. Then they said, you are the best. Please don't leave us. This is a beautiful story of the prana. This prana is Shutratma, Hiranyagarbha, Prajapati, Apara Brahma, Karja Brahma. These are many names of this prana. Without prana, we cannot work. We need physical strength. We need the strength of our senses to function, to work in this world. Energy. Utsav. Enthusiasm is extremely important in our human life. Then the Upadghat, this is the introduction of the Shankara's commentary of the Kena Upanishad. Shankara made the commentary. This knowledge came from Guru to disciple. Parampara, they call it Guru Parampara. If you read Chandogya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is called Rishi Vangsho. Gautamanath, Bhautimashad, Gautamanath, Kashyapa, Bharadwaja, all the great sages, their descendants, they carry this truth from Guru to disciple. They say this truth came from Brahma, the creator. 4 Vedas came from his lips. Brahma gave this knowledge to his son Vasishtha, Vasishtha to Shakti, Shakti to Parashara, Parashara to Vyasa, Vyasa to Shukadeva, Shukadeva to Gaudapada, Gaudapada to Govindapada, Govindapada to Shankara. Then the Shankara 10 sects of the Vedanta of monks carried the same truth. Thus the truth came to Totapuri. Totapuri gave this knowledge to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna to Vivekananda, Brahmananda. Brahmananda gave this knowledge to Shankarananda. Shankarananda gave this knowledge to Chetanananda. In this way, Guru Parampara, this ancient wisdom is coming to us. Very interesting. If we perform action according to the injunction of the scriptures, and if you practice your prayer, Sandha Vandana, what will they do? Chitta Shuddhi, it purifies the mind. Nishkam karma, unselfish action, purifies the mind. There are various kinds of karma. Shabhavik karma, natural work. Eating, sleeping, begetting children, that is natural. Noimittic karma, auxiliary, some kind of work. Suppose I need some special sacrifice to fulfill my desire, that is noimittic karma. Nitya karma, daily obligatory duties. Every day you will have to practice spiritual disciplines. Sandha Vandana. Nishiddha karma, forbidden action, killing, murdering, lying, cheating. Nishkam karma, unselfish action, without any motive. This Nishkam karma purifies the mind. And when the mind becomes pure, boom, it becomes one-pointed. When you have no desire, doubt, mind becomes very one-pointed. Upasana makes the mind chittaikagram, upasana, prayer, japa, meditation, make the mind one-pointed. And then comes self-knowledge. This is the way it works. Shadha sadhana. Another thing our teacher interprets. Shadha means the thing you want to achieve. Sadhana means the action, the process you are taking to achieve that thing. Shadha sadhana. Suppose I want to go to heaven. So what do? In the Vedas it is mentioned what is necessary to perform to go to the Vedas, to go to heaven. So you perform that sacrifice, you will go to heaven. So heaven is the shadha, and performance of the sacrifice is sadhana. Please understand this sadhana, how it works. When you understand the sadhana, then do you know what happens? Then comes renunciation. How does it work? Listen. In Mundaka Upanishad there is a mantra. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayati nasti agrita kritina tad vijnanartam sagurume vavigatsyat samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. A disciple, a student came, he scrutinized different lokas where people want to go. And he found all these lokas can be achieved through action. And the ultimate truth cannot be achieved through action. For the reason he thinks, then I shall not be involved in these activities. What shall I do? I shall go to a guru with sacrificial wood. That means shraddha, love. With that shraddha and love, he goes to a guru. Samitpari Shrotiram Brahmanishtam, Brahmanishta Guru. Tad Guru me bhavi gachet. Tad vijnanartham. To know that ultimate truth, he goes to a teacher with love and respect. Vairagya. This Vairagya, he is talking, do you know what he is talking about? That this student has come to know from the Guru the ultimate truth. Does he have worldly attachment or not? If he has worldly attachment, he cannot enter in this realm. Look what Sri Ramakrishna said. Here is a thread, and here is the eye of a needle. It does not go if the thread has too many fibers. So what do? We take the thread, we take a little water or moisture, and we rub it and make it sharp, one-pointed, then it easily goes to the eye of a needle. So if you have too many worldly desires, you cannot enter in this realm. That he is talking about. Seasoning. Are you a true student? Otherwise, this Brahma Jignasa, this Jignasa will not come. First, you will have to be Odhikari. Look at this Washington U Medical School. They have a prerequisites to get admission into the medical school. If I go, they will say, no, you are no good. You know religion and philosophy, you cannot be a doctor. You get out. You will have to go take science, physics, mathematics, chemistry, all those things. You have the knowledge, prerequisites. Then you can get entry into the medical school. I am disqualified. That he is talking about. A Brahma Jignasa, this question must arise. The first sutra of the Brahma Sutra is Athato Brahma Jignasa. Athato means now. Atha means after acquiring the prerequisites to be a student of a Vedanta, then you can ask question. What are the prerequisites? Odhikari tu Vidhivat Veda Vedanka. We used to memorize those things in the Vedanta Shara. What are the qualifications necessary to ask questions about Brahman? Interesting. Anyhow, you need 4 basic qualifications to be a student of Vedanta. First, Adau Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. First, you must learn what is discrimination between what is real, what is unreal. The thing which is real, hold on. Unreal, give up. Second, Sama Adau Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. Then, Iha Mutra Phalabhoga Virago. I do not want any worldly enjoyments, I do not want any heavenly enjoyments. I want to renounce both. That is second qualification. Third qualification, Samadhamadi Shatka Sampatti. Sama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Samadhan, Shraddha. You must be endowed with 6 qualities. Virtues. Shama, inner control. Dhamma, outer control of the senses. Uparati, you must know how to enjoy the minds and subjects. Titiksha, forbearance. Samadhana, self-settledness. Shraddha, faith. These 6 things you must have. Fourth, mumukshuttam, a burning desire for liberation. If you have these 4, then you are a Odhikari. All right, you will get admission in this school. Well, Swami, if you know, then nobody is a Odhikari, is a student in Vedanta. Sri Ramakrishna gave this easy way to enter a spiritual life. First he said, have sadhu sangha, holy company. Then, he also mentioned, he also mentioned a vichar, discriminate, real and unreal. Nitya vichara, holy company. nirjane gopane, in solitude, secretly pray, meditate, practice japam, study. In this way, you can train yourself. You know, not that everybody will have to be a monastic. Sri Ramakrishna made some of his householders. These teachings, those are things I said, Vedantic qualification, those are for the monastics. But Sri Ramakrishna made householders, how they can practice this ultimate truth, Vedanta. Look, Ames, Nagmasha. Their inside is renunciation. They are householders, but inside non-attachment. How they practiced. Anyhow, Shadya Sadhana Sambuddhatvat. There are 7 stages of Vedanta, the experiences of Vedanta, which is in Yoga-Vasishta. Shubhecha. It is a good previous lives, good samaskaras. Create this kind of desire that I like to have a spiritual life. Shubho Icha. Desire, wishes. Then come Vicharana. Then is discriminate. Tonumanosha. Then with discrimination, he gave up all the worldly things, then his mind becomes very light. Tonu manosha. Mind becomes light, it goes up. Most of the minds, like ordinary people, they have so many desires and attachments. Their minds are like octopus, grabbing this world. That he was talking about. Tonumanosha, mind goes up. Then Swattapatti, at that time he experiences. That is called Jivan Mukta Avastha, Swattapatti, 4th stage. 5th stage, Asang Shakti. All attachments are gone. Padartha Abhavini, a world becomes dream to him, not real. And Turjaga, complete Samadhi. These are the 7 stages we find in the Vedantic tradition. This Vairagya, this renunciation and non-attachment, generates the inquiry about Brahman. So the students came and asked the question, they must have these qualifications. Otherwise they would not ask about Brahman. Then he talked, we explored outside, but could not find peace. So Pratyak, then they go inside. That Pratyagatma, that individual Atman and Brahman are the same. Ayam Atma Brahma. We find in the Mandukya Upanishad, which is one of the Mahavaikyas. The Pratyagatma and Brahman are one. It is ignorance which brings all this karma, desire and karma, and that binds us. In the Manharana Upanishad we read, na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amritattamanashu. Na karmana, neither through action, na prajaya, neither through prajini, not through prajini, na dhanena, not through money, not chejaya, not through sacrifice. One can reach, attain the Atman. Tyage naike amritattamanashu. Only this immortality, this Atman can be attained through renunciation. A day and night can never stay together. we talked about this, what karma can do. Karma can take you these lokas. The Upanishad says, Bhur, Bhava, Swa, Maha. Up to this, karma will take you. Then Upasana will take you Jana, Tapa, Saitya Loka. Very interesting. We work for our children, for our family. Through that work, what will you gain? Manushya Loka. This earth, this Manushya Loka, you will attain through work for the children, family. You will always connected with this earth, Manushya Loka. Then Devaloka. If you perform work and prayer both, then you will go to heaven. Devaloka. Again, Devalok means Jana, Tapa, Saitya-lok. When Jaggavalko divided his wealth between his two wives, Katyayani and Maitreyi, Maitreyi says, Kim prajaya korishama jem nam namritasam. What Vitya? What shall I do with this wealth if I do not get that immortality? I want immortality. So what we are supposed to do? How can we eradicate this ignorance? Sannyas also, renunciation, monastic also, life also. There are various grades of monastic life. Vividisha sannyas, Vidya sannyas, Marka sannyas, Atur sannyas. Vividisha sannyas, that is generally we take. We have some kind of indirect knowledge about God, Brahman, which we learn from the scriptures and from our gurus. So we took the monastic vows, put on ochre cloth, striving to attain Brahman. That is called Vividisha sannyas. Vidya sannyas means they know Brahman, then they take sannyas. Like Shankara, Chaitanya, Ramakrishna. They are illumined. Still they take sannyas as a formal. Marka sannyas means temporary sannyas. Suppose somebody says, my wife died, it is better to join the monastery. Then found out another girl and then got married again. That is called temporary. They call it smashan sannyas, burning God, renunciation. Knowledge and action, karma and jnana are two different things. Do you know karma? How is it? It is your will. Kortum, akortum, annathava kortum. I can do it, I may not do it, or I can do something else, which is according to my wish, my will. I may do it, I may not do it, or I may do it something else. Kortum, akortum, annathava kortum. But knowledge is not like that. You have no, it is not Purusha Tantra. It is Bostu Tantra. Bostu Tantra means here is a chair. I see a chair. I cannot make it a telephone. Chair. That knowledge, chair is chair. That is called Bostu Tantra. Anyhow. So he came to the Guru and asked the question. So now I shall read the verse of the Upanishad. Kinishitam patati preshitam manaha kena pranaha prathama praiti yuktaha Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti chakshusrotram kayu deva junokti. The disciples asked, "Oh, by whose will, directed, does the mind proceed to its subject? At whose command does the prana, the foremost, do its duty? At whose will do men utter speech? Who is the God that directs the eyes and ears?" These are my questions. These are the questions. The name of the Upanishad is Kena, because the first word is Kena. Om Kene Shitam Om Kene Shitam Patati Preshitam Mana Kena Prana Prasama Priti Yukta Kene Shitam Vachamimam Vadanti Chakshusrutam Kayu Deva Junokti. Kena. So he asked this question. We see, we hear, we talk, we touch, we taste. These are the 5 organs of knowledge. These are the 5 ways we get knowledge inside. We see through the eyes, we hear through the ears, through the nose we smell, through the tongue we taste, and through the skin we touch. These are the 5 ways of knowledge. This is pratyaksha, sense perception. This human system, these organs are functioning. How? It is a mystery. Sometimes we see some dead body's eyes open. Is he seeing? No. Can he hear? No. Where that sense organs go? It is the consciousness behind. Chaitanya. He makes body image. Even though it's this consciousness within me so that I am speaking to you and you are listening. If there is no consciousness, I am dead, you are dead. What is that consciousness? You see, do you know what does it say? It is gross to subtle, subtle to subtler, subtler to subtlest. That is the way the student asks the question and Guru is taking the mind of a disciple's mind, grows to the subtle, subtle to subtler, subtler to subtlest. That is the reason they ask the gross question. I see my eyes, I see my ears. How do they function? That subtle things I do not see. You are my Guru, you will have to tell me. This is the setup, you see. Very interesting. Vidibhadupadishta. Does the mind, it is commonly believed that the mind thinks of objects independently of any outside will. But this is not true. The mind is not its own master. Otherwise, an intelligent person would not contemplate evil. It is a common experience that the mind, although conscious of the harmful results to follow, sometimes thinks of an evil object. In spite of being warned by others, it is impelled to undertake an action fraught with serious consequences. Therefore, it is but right to surmise that the mind is not altogether free in its activities. Is mind free? Mind is not free. This is Shankara's commentary. Mind. How does the perception complete? We read in Shankara's commentary that Rupam drishyam lochanam driktu tat drishyam driktu manasam drishyadhivrittayu drigiva natu drishyati. It is a beautiful verse of Shankara. Rupam drishyam, whatever we see, they are drishya, seen. S-C-E-N-E or S-E-E-N. Seen, these things are seen. Rupam drishyam. Whatever we see through our eyes, they are all seen. Scenery. Who is the seer? Lochanam. Eyes are the seer. Again, the eyes are the seen. My eyes are open, but I do not see anything. My mind is not there. My mind is thinking something else. You are sitting in front of me, I am not seeing you at all. So he is telling, mind is the seer. Eyes become the seen, mind is the seer. Again, drishya dhivrittayu. On the mind, drishya, many waves, thought waves, many scenes are passing over the mind. Who is the seer? Drigiva, the Atma. Atman is the seer. Not to drishyate, but who is the seer of the Atman? None. Atman is the final. That consciousness is the drashta, shrota, manta, vigata, sprashta. Beautiful, that mantra in the Prana Upanishad says, this Atman is the drashta, seer, shrota, hearer, manta, thinker, hearer, viewer, taster. Everything is the Atman. These sense organs are just acting according to the dictate of the Atman. The prana, the life force is described as the foremost, since without it, sense organs cannot engage in their activities. Prana. Think of the locomotive engine. The person who invented the locomotive engine, I remember in 1940s, all the locomotive engines, huge boiler. There they put coal. They are putting there. And here this boiler, there is a pool of water. That water is creating that tremendous steam engine. And that steam has a force, power, energy to pull all the railway cars. Then came, I remember, diesel engine. Now all electric engine. I remember when I used to come from our hometown to Calcutta, you'll have to close the windows, or otherwise all these coal particles and the smoke, dust will come through the windows. Sometimes it used to come through our eyes. Even when I was in college in 50s, I remember 54, I was a daily passenger. So many coal, small particles of coal from the engine are coming towards us. Comes through the window. A engine. The energy comes from this prana. Tremendous power. In this human system, some people have tremendous prana, some people have less prana. It is the whole difference of manifestation of Shakti, energy. It is common belief that the body consisting of the senses and limbs directs a person to action, and that the mind also is under the control of the body. But an intelligent person realizes that the body, the senses, and the mind, in fact, all things in an embodied person except the inmost self are mutable, material, and impermanent. The mind and the rest engage in their respective functions by the mere will of Atman. The disciple asked the teacher, about this immutable of everything about the Atman. Anyhow. Sangato pararthatvat, according to Shankar philosophy. Oh my goodness, I correct the time. Shankar philosophy says all combined objects are meant for others. Eyes, ears, nose, body is for others, because it is all combination of things. He made a good comment that, life begins when we are in the embryo, in the womb of our mother. Life begins from there. And some people say life begins after birth or before birth. The Upanishad says life begins before birth. It is in the womb of the mother. Anyhow, today we just talked about our question. The answer will come in our next lecture on the Upanishad. Thank you. Anyhow, have patience. Don't be impatient about listening this Upanishad. When I joined the monastery, 5 years, I only every morning and evening I only listen. Listen. 5 years. Read and listen. Have patience. If you want to know the ultimate truth, you need patience. Matma me shuddhantam jyotiraham virajabi papma bhuyasam. Antaratma me shuddhantam jyotiraham virajabi papma bhuyasam. Paramatma me shuddhantam jyotiraham virajabi papma bhuyasam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May my body become pure. May I be free from impurities and ignorance. May I realize myself as the light divine. May my mind become pure. May I be free from impurities and ignorance. May I realize myself as the light divine. May my soul become pure. May I be free from impurities and ignorance. May I realize myself as the light divine. Om. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.